Okay, it is 6:02 p.m. on Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. We will call the Common Council meeting to order. Let's stand. This is Maverick and Riker Graves that are going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So we will start when you start. Go ahead. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping us. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Half of them can't read.
Roll call, please.
Middleton absent. Varga.
Here.
Romano.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on August 13th. Were there any changes or corrections? I did give one to Rosie, which was Mr. Bittler's name was misspelled multiple times there. And so I handed those all over, but besides that.
I have two.
Okay, what do you got?
Under the first reading of the test kitchen,
Okay,
it says that Jenny Middleton made first and second motion to read. Jenny Romano, or Jennifer, made the first motion, Jenny made the second.
oh, gotcha, okay.
So it
Jennifer
says-
Middleton made the motion to read, and Jennifer Romano seconded the motion.
No, other way around.
Other way.
Yep,
Jennifer Romano made the motion and Jennifer Middleton seconded it.
yes,
Okay.
yep.
And?
And under Tom's report, the guy's taking the NFP 1403 instead of light, it should be live,
Ah, good catch.
right? Okay.
Hi, Nathan. I didn't see you sneaking.
You slayed.
Yes.
It just didn't make sense. I'm like,
It's great to have an English teacher on the. Okay, any other changes or corrections? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as noted, or with the noted changes?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Leslie. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous of those present. We are going to postpone swearing in of our new firefighter until the next meeting. Is that right, Rosie? Yes, till the next meeting. So next up is the rezone ordinance. Do I have a motion to read, hold on a second, here we go. Read ordinance 2024-15 by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dan, seconded by Jennifer. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Please read ordinance 2024-15 by title only.
Ordinance 2024-15, an ordinance amending the zoning classification of certain property from the R1 Single Family Residential District to the GB General Business District.
Is this why you're here, Nathan?
Yeah.
Come on up.
I thought it was from the company. Yeah, well, I haven't been here for a while, so.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, I wasn't able to make the first reading like I normally do, so trying to make it for rezoning. So, I guess, from what I understand, Mr. Bittler was here last time and explained what he wanted to do. I haven't heard any follow-up questions or anything like that, but any questions for me?
Any questions for Nathan regarding the rezone? Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments, concerns regarding the ordinance? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2024-15 on second and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Leslie, second by Tad. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous of those present. Next up is ordinance, thanks Nathan. Next up is ordinance 2024-16. Do I have a motion to read by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Tad. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous of those present. Please read ordinance 2024-16 by title only.
Ordinance 2024-16, an ordinance establishing a test kitchen fund for the city of Columbia City, Indiana.
So obviously, we heard this at the last meeting. This is the establishment of the fund for the purpose of being able to basically operate the test kitchen / shared kitchen, so.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say, 'cause
It's- It's an interchangeable, no, I don't think so. It's an interchangeable title, I think, so. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2024-16 on second and final reading?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Leslie. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous of those present. Next up is ordinance 2024-17. Do I have a motion to read by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tad, seconded by Leslie. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Please read ordinance 2024-17 by title only.
Ordinance 2024-17, an ordinance amending Title 11, Business Regulations of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Columbia City, Indiana.
Okay? Who wants to talk about it?
Do you want to talk, Marcia, or you want me to go ahead?
Is this where we're having Board of Works establish the fee schedules?
No, this is just the test, or the itinerant.
This is the itinerant merchant.
Itinerant merchant that we
Oh,
talked
this is the
about.
itinerant merchant, sure.
Yeah.
So, the issue came up, it was raised by Sally, with some complaints that came into the city. Just in general, issues of people setting up tents and maybe things, sort of portable facilities, if you will. I'm not sure facilities is the word, but anyway. Well, we found we really don't have it. It doesn't really fall under peddler, and it doesn't really fall under mobile. So I worked on establishing the definition of itinerant merchant and set up a new ordinance for it. The discussion was, do we put it with other things? And Sally thought it'd be nice to just have it a separate ordinance. So that's what this is. It's only for these sort of portable pop-up sales, whether private or public, and to establish a permit process for that.
I think this is really just a way in which to create a level playing field. Obviously, we have the non-food mobile trucks, if you will, the mobile non-food trucks, right? But found that there's basically a loophole there that if someone sets up a tent, they can sell out of the tent and it doesn't fit any of our ordinance pieces. And so this really creates a level playing field for those that need basically, a permit to vend, if you will, in our community. So appreciate everybody's work on this. I got some of those complaints as well and concerns on that of, well, wait a minute, how can they just set up wherever they want and vend whatever they want with when we have all these other ordinances in place? So questions, comments, concerns about the ordinance? Nope. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2024-17 on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Tad. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous of those present. We will move it to second reading at the next meeting. Thank you for your efforts, Marcia, on kind of closing that loophole. Department head reports. Chip?
Yes, so Westgate is moving along. We did hear some complaints on Facebook yesterday that they're working kind of with not a full crew, but they are still continue working. They have all the curbs in. They're finishing up the last of the sidewalks and driveway approaches and are hoping to have asphalt done within the next week or so. I believe the substantial completion is around September 30th, and they should hit that, so everything is going on pace. Eagle Park, the beautiful swing, got 90% installed the past 2 weeks. We're just waiting on the actual swings to be installed. So that's coming along. Pickleball courts should be sealed in the next 2 weeks. So we are moving along with that. I know Matt met with the park board last night, discussed some issues that we're having with the pickleballers. So hopefully that gets nailed down. The Blue River Trail extension, we had a little issue with advertising for the bids. The bids were supposed to be advertised this week and opened, I'll say in late September. That got pushed back to October 14th, so at least it is still moving forward, and we're hoping to have that done next year, 2025, the trail going out to the high school. So we are happy that everything is moving forward. we had good contact yesterday with the railroad, and so things are progressing. So hopefully, after all this traffic gets done ruining Line Street's railroad crossing, we will have a new railroad crossing next year. So one perk. I don't think I have anything else. There's a lot of stuff in my brain, but getting it out is, oh gosh, sorry.
Probably a pretty dark place. Questions of Chip? Thank you. Nathan,
Yes.
do you have any updates on what's going on in planning and building that you want to give us?
Sure, why not? Permits, it's been a little while since I checked, but basically we were, kind of had a cold July and cold beginning of August, but it is starting to pick back up, which is not too unusual. Usually June is our big peak for permits countywide, and then kind of dip in July and August. It's just, I think July and August this year was a bigger dip than typically. But it's starting to pick up back up. Not sure what the end result will be. City specific, I'd say it's, again, kind of a cool year, on par with last year or so. Timber's Edge, talked with Brooks Langlow, they're starting to move dirt out there, so that should actually be developed before the end of the year. So we'll have some lots on the ground there on that side of town yet this year. At the Plan Commission meeting coming up on, not this coming Monday, but the Monday following because of the holiday, we have a 2-lot plat over on Gates Road. One of the lot owners, actually Ben Gates' old house, is splitting that property into two, about a 2.5 acre and a 1.5 acre parcel. So that's on the Plan Commission, and I'm still working on a parking code update for the Plan Commission as well, with ETA before the end of the year too. So those are kind of the big things I've got. Anything you've heard you want to ask me about?
Questions?
Okay.
Did you talk about the joint meeting comp plan thing that we're having here, and is it
Oh.
is it a month?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be sending out probably this Friday, which would be 1 month ahead of time, the 5th Monday training session. So for September, I'm going to take that, it won't be a training session, but it'll be a comprehensive plan workshop for all of the plan commissions and BZAs like normal, but I'm also going to invite all of the elected officials, so yourselves included. That will be held September 30th. So it's Monday, September 30th, up in Cherubusco at Boy Scout Building. Doing it up there just to mix things up for one thing. Not planning on having it video for one thing as well, in order to keep discussion a bit more candid. And the goal will be for each jurisdiction to review each other's comprehensive plans, to learn more about what works, what doesn't, what's going on, which is important for the city as you start to look at updating your comprehensive plan in the next year or so. See what everybody else is doing, let everybody know what your successes have been and where some possible challenges have been as well. So really hoping to see everybody there if you can make it, 6 o'clock on the 30th.
Questions of Nathan? I think we've burned through about half of our comprehensive plan in 10 years, just so you're aware. So we have a lot to be proud of, I think, in that regard. That's why we're going to update it next year. Thank you. Sean?
So we've completed about 90% of the pole testing for this year. We actually are all the way through town. We're starting to work our way out to the rural areas now. And then we'll be ending that at the end of the week. I think we have 100 poles right now that have been deemed reject poles, which means they need repaired or replaced. So I just ordered, I think I said last time, I ordered an entire load of utility poles a month ago, and it came in at $22,000. That's for 37 poles. That same load 5 years ago was about 14 to 13,000. So price of material has really skyrocketed, obviously. Other than that, Rolling Hills, we're still working on the underground infrastructure there. We've transferred some people over from the older overhead infrastructure to the underground stuff already. We've got a few of those houses switched over. We're gonna work on that the rest of the week. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. So now tomorrow, we're gonna go disconnect the temporary power to the new jail, which means they should be getting closer and closer to their end goal of moving people in there. So that's a good sign. Other than that, we're just daily activities.
Questions of Sean? Sean, not that I don't go that way often. However, I actually did go toward the Big G's area and look, and actually specifically go there to look at and you're right, a lot of the overhead lines being gone, it really does kind of open up that space a lot. So,
It's really nice.
great work by you and your crew on that one.
Thanks to Big G for being cooperative as well.
Yep, absolutely. Tom?
Middle of last week, the mayor tried to drive a garbage truck and ran it into our burn facility.
None of that is true.
It did sustain damage from a garbage truck. And it's pretty, I would call it pretty heavy damage. So we're working with the manufacturer of the burn facility to come up with a cost to give to the insurance company to get it fixed. In the meantime, it is out of service. If you get down past, you can see it. It's the lower western can that's going to have to be replaced. It'll have to be all disassembled and reassembled to replace it. So 101's 15 kVW generator is undergoing repair and we're waiting on parts. 102, if you remember back several months, I was telling you about the gauge clusters all dropped out to 0 and it was making all the bells and whistles. And then it just mysteriously went away. Well, that problem's back, so Adam's trying to figure that out while it's still doing it. Our Plymovent system, Plymovent exhaust system down in the bays, that's the drops that sucks all the exhaust out. That motor went bad, and so I've got that company coming to get that fixed, and everything else is working good.
Question at the top. Council, as you sign the rezone, just know that there is a yes and a no side. Since you all voted yes, I'm expecting you to sign on the yes side. Thanks, Tom.
Signed it in the right spot, good job.
When I first looked at it, I was like, oh.
Matt?
Closed the pool down for the season on Sunday. The roof is finally finished on the police training building. And we had the last Wild Indiana educational session on Saturday, which was a really big hit. I'm sure we had over 200 people. It was,
Wow, that's
went for
fantastic.
2 hours, and then the really nice part is when they left, they went straight over to the playground, and families were, picnicking and all that. So
Nice.
it was a good day altogether.
Yep.
We'll be starting to tear down the wood dugouts on 1 and 2 here in the next week, and getting them ready for cinder block dugouts so they match field 3 and field 4. We're looking at building a bigger shed at the pool to accommodate the swim team equipment. The one that was placed there was plastic and it had a wooden foundation. Being the 6th season, it has rotted pretty much out, and the plastic has taken some storm damage that lets it leak in. So we're going to try to make more of a permanent shed there. Then Kenzie Sanderson is a Girl Scout, and I know that Boy Scouts have like an Eagle Scout project. This is she's doing the version for the Girl Scouts, so she can finish up her Girl Scouting career. She's putting a free library box at every kid's Dreamland, and the box will be opening, or the mayor's going to be there on Saturday as well to have the box open up and let the kids be able to read books.
Yep. Those are a very hot thing. They're popping up everywhere, which is great. But yeah, it's a cool project, so. Anything else? Questions of Matt? Thank you. Mike?
All 3 filters are back online now, seem to be working well. And also we're, for the next week, maybe week and a half, we'll be flushing hydrants through the town.
Questions of Mike? Thank you. Gary?
Short and sweet, Mike. All right, so
Not
as far as police go, Chuck Melton, which was approved and went through all the testing, the 40-hour pre-basic, completed the birth process, everything got approved,
But not through at the academy.
not the academy, no. Resigned after his first day of field training. He was a week here through orientation, then first night out on the road, called me the next morning and decided this wasn't the job for him and his family. So, Board of Works did give me approval to fill his position again. We do have 6 applicants that are going to the formal interviews on September 5th, which we got a pretty good pool there, so I think.
How many positions are we filling for that,
2.
Gary?
We have 2 open positions.
Now, the 2
Yes.
includes Melton?
Correct.
Okay.
Austin Sturgis, at the time of the Board of Works meeting, I didn't hear back. I know Gina called down there for me today, and since then, we have got emailed back that he was recommended, so.
Good.
We should be able to get his paperwork tomorrow, get it signed and
Get
sent
moving.
off to the state, which
Good.
then that's another 10 to 14 days, so. Then after that, he can start, so. That looks good, though. It's positive. Dispatch. All right, Rosie?
It's okay, Marcia's fine.
All right. Dispatch, we did offer 2 positions, or 2 offers of employment to communication, that we went through they went through formal interviews, informal, chief's interview, and we offered 2 spots today. Board of Works did give me approval to hire the 3rd, because we had 4 really good applicants. 2 were laterals and 2 were not. One from Huntington decided that, she was down there for 18 years and decided that coming back here and starting all over wasn't right timing for her and her family right now. So she decided to withdraw out of the process. So we do have 3 really good applicants left. Board of Works, they give me the approval to hire because Amy's retiring in 2025, so she'll just be able to get trained to slide right into her position, which would save a lot of overtime. Instead of paying time and a half, you just pay the straight time of her working, so should be a good transition. Kelly and I got together. I asked Kelly to put up a couple more signs down there on Whitley Street for the 5-ton weight limit signs. So we've had guys down there enforcing and educating trucks that they're too heavy for these back roads. So pointed them in the right direction of the alternate route, which is up Radio down Line Street to Van Buren. So, but that's been a job in itself, so it's been tough. The Shrine, which we had a meeting, Tom, Matt, the mayor and I, and Jerry Freewell had a meeting. They're gonna do a parade on September 21st, starting at Eagle Park, going up North Street to Main Street, down Main Street to Ellsworth, just like what Old Settlers Days is. So he said it starts at noon, should last about an hour, he's thinking. So we'll go from there and see how that goes. Been busy with multiple investigations, a lot going on right now. I always say when we're quiet, that's a good thing, but we're not so quiet right now. So kudos to our detectives and the officers taking these calls, taking a lot of man hours right now, but we're getting things done and solving crime, so.
So so the thing, yeah, I appreciate that. Because, historically speaking, I don't know what we've done in the past. Main Street is not really under our jurisdiction per se, although we still close it, right? So it's more of a matter of the North Street, the Ellsworth Street, I guess theoretically the Van Buren cutoffs, if you will, things like that. But I know in the meeting, it was like, I don't know that we really need it, but
The only street that we'd really have to close would be North.
North, yeah.
Because once they get to Ellsworth, they disperse and then.
although if we end up though cutting off Van Buren at Chauncey Street or at Line Street, then we are theoretically closing off streets there. So we'll touch base and figure out. I mean, if nothing, we may just do it just for the sake of having it on the record and being good with it. So anyways, yeah, I appreciate that. So, anything else, Gary?
Nope.
Questions of Gary? Thank you. Kelly?
As Nathan mentioned, Timber's Edge, starting another phase of the subdivision, back off of Valley River Drive. Somerset Drive and Cottonwood will be connecting into that, extending and connecting into that. I met with Greg Fleming from Fleming Excavating today in the office. They're currently starting to cut in some roads out there, and they'll be doing the sewer work and water, stormwater and stuff like that coming up. So we'll have an inspector out there looking at job for the sewer portion of it and the streets. I'm sure Mike will have somebody inspecting the water and stormwater. So that's gonna, they're hoping he can, I think Greg said they were hoping they could have the roads in and possibly ready to asphalt by October, the end of October or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. Concrete crews working on a 50/50 walk at Park and Oak. They just started, got everything formed, and we got concrete coming tomorrow for that job. Be a couple different pours on that. I'll let the mayor talk about Thomas Riley Marshall signs that we got.
Sure.
We put up a couple of those. And then we got a couple more trucks coming in from W.A. Jones that they're wrapping up. We should be getting them hopefully the end of the week. And then myself and Mitch Platt attended Indiana Street Commissioners Conference last week down in Muncie.
Questions of Kelly? Thank you. Terry?
Working with SOS Communications and Electric Department to get everything ordered and process started for extending our fiber network to the test kitchen. Also working with Preferred IT. We've got about 6 of our servers that are end of life. So we're going to have to get those upgraded or replaced here in the new future. They're all virtual machines, so it's all just building a new one and getting data transferred. So some of them will be easy, some of them are going to be really difficult. So working with that. Been working with Cody and Q's on the Granite software that Kelly uses for televising and stuff. That's all being upgraded to a new version and new server also for that.
Questions of Terry? Thank you. I do have a report from Mike Cook. As you may know, his mom passed away, and so we've been, keeping him in our thoughts and prayers and stuff. But he did send a report. They are waiting on the new lift station panels. The break room remodel is supposed to start yesterday, so hopefully it has. Sludge hauling has been completed. They did repair a pump guardrail, and the pump has returned to operation, which is really, really good. Jefferson and Main Street Force Main project. The project is fully in operation on Jefferson Street. If you've not seen it, there are all kinds of holes and equipment and all kinds of things in that area. We're trying to disrupt Rosie's life as much as possible. But no significant issues today. Yesterday I was able to connect a resident and his concern to the project inspector, and seems like everything's good to go. So we are still awaiting our modified NPDES permit from IDEM that reduces that cyanide testing to quarterly. That will save a couple $1,000s per year in labor and testing because we've significantly been under that limit for long enough. We still are not sure why we bumped up that couple of tests or that one test, but it is what it is. So they did install a small pump to spray water in the secondary tank. Power washing buildings, things like that right now. So just seeing if there's anything else I need to report. So looks like it's pretty good there. Marcia, you have anything?
Nothing.
Rosie?
Nothing.
I just flew back, and boy are my arms tired. No, just flew back from Indianapolis. I was at the first task force today, the Funding Indiana's Roads for a Safer, Stronger Tomorrow, or Stronger, Safer, I don't know which way, but had a lot of really good conversation. the eye-popping number that came out of that was that there is a local need when it comes to counties, cities, and towns of somewhere over $2 billion in road infrastructure needs to get roads up to good condition. It's about, I think it's like 1.7 billion to get it to fair, to get all roads onto fair condition. So, and that doesn't include the $1 billion+ that NDOT needs going forward for, to kind of make up for the potential funding gap when it comes to gas fuel taxes falling off, higher CAFE standards, et cetera, et cetera. So I won't bore you with all that information, but I think there's going to be a lot of really unique and creative ideas that are going to come out of this thing on how we fund road infrastructure long-term. And, leaning toward consumption or user taxes much more than kind of across the board. Biggest question is how do we capture the out-of-state people that are using our roads going back and forth, but not necessarily stopping and paying for gas, right? So, some things like that. As Gary mentioned, the GLSA, which is the Great Lakes Shrine Association Parade, is going to be taking place, as noted, what was that, the 15th? No. What day was that, Gary?
September 21st.
21st, I'm sorry. I was one iteration back from there. So, the 21st, starting at noon, so that should be a great event. I'm going to start pushing out some information. I think I need a copy of the flyer, Gary, if you can get that for me. But that'll be they want it to be a big event. It is an honor to have it in Columbia City, so we want to make sure that we have a good event, a good show turnout, if you will, for that event. So
They said it only happens once in 20 years.
every 20 years or so, yeah. So it is a big deal. Looking at what else I have to tell you. We have youth council that will be starting on Thursday, which is exciting. I'm also going to be attending tomorrow the topping out ceremony of Mission 25 for their building. That's a really exciting thing. And on Friday, not to steal Tad's thunder, but on Friday, we will be having a special redevelopment commission meeting to have conversations about the current and soon to be former Whitley County Jail. We have had, just so you're aware, we have had a engineer architect, if you will, that has looked at the building and has toured the building with me and Carl and Gary and Sean were a part of that too, and those and I think the building's in really good shape, despite what rumbles we heard. So nevertheless, we are kind of looking toward that and considering all those options, but redevelopment commission will be meeting on that topic on Friday. Of course, we will be closed Monday for Labor Day weekend, or Labor Day, so that's exciting. And then next Wednesday, some of us will be at the Trust Local Golf Outing, which really is just a way we can support the idea, especially getting the message to legislators of like, we were also elected by the same people that elected you, so trust us when we make decisions, kind of a thing. Because if our people don't like what we decide, they can vote us out, kind of thing. So anyways, and then I have a rural communities roundtable I was randomly invited to on that Thursday. So a lot of things happening, a lot of busy stuff. And I'm supposed to talk about Thomas R. Marshall signs, because I almost forgot about that. We were approached by the Historical Society to requesting to put up some placards on our welcome signs designating the city as being the home of Thomas Riley Marshall, Vice President of the United States. And so they created, designed, paid for the signs. We were just responsible for putting them up. So I think we put one up on each end of US 30 as the welcome area, if you will. So if you go by, you can see those. It doesn't stand out as much. It's a little smaller, I think, than what I think was expected or anticipated, but they are pretty nice signs. So besides that, I think that's all I got right now. Dan, Jennifer.
The Arts Commission's Whitley County Studio Art Tour, second annual event, will be on September 7th from 9 to 2 p.m. There'll be lots of stuff on our social media about it, on our Arts Commission website, and then also just kind of in a lot of different ways trying to get the information out there. There will be studios open across the county, and then here in Columbia City, there will be booths set up at Hockmeyer McNagny Law Office. They'll have some artists there, and there will be some artists over at the Historical Museum too.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you. Tad?
I have nothing.
Leslie?
Just an update from the regional sewer board meeting last Tuesday. Last Tuesday was the last day for anyone to ask for an exception or an extension, or an exemption or extension. As of the time that we left at 6:30, we were down to like 29 individuals that still had not communicated anything. So, good progress, but still several individuals that we haven't heard a single thing from. So, we'll see what next month brings.
We appreciate you tackling that beast. Okay, so last thing I'll say is after the next council meeting, we're going to have a CIP. I'm going to call CIP after the next council meeting. I need to see Chip and Matt and Kelly and Jennifer, and there's no press and no audience. We'll call the meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.